In this video, I want to talk about what e-commerce SEO is at the most basic level. So if you have no understanding of SEO or you're just curious and trying to find out more, thinking that you should invest in it for your brand, this video is going to be for you. I wanted to show you the basics, what it is, how it works, and also, as I've got right in front of me, what you can actually get from proper SEO. So I've got a few little results here from some of the people I've been working with, some of the brands I've been working with. I just wanted to showcase to show you the power of SEO and show you that when you do these things correctly, there is a lot of money to be made with SEO. So first, this top one here, we've been working with this brand for a couple of months. Before we started, they were making 63, almost 64,000 a month from Google search specifically. And after 3 months of SEO, we've cracked 100K from Google search revenue. So amazing growth for that brand there. This other one down here, they were at $16,000 a month in February of this year. And in May, we reached just under 23,000, I think, for that brand. So again, some great growth when it comes to SEO. This is all from organic Google search. You can see down here some of the growth charts that we've got, almost tripling the amount of traffic to this site. This one here, we've doubled, almost tripled the amount of impressions that they're getting in Google every single day, which is great. And all that is achieved through getting keywords ranking higher. That's what SEO is all about. We're trying to get your website shown more in Google. And we do that by taking keywords from as low as position 84 to position 3, 62 to 3, and so forth, getting all these keywords to the top 3. Also, those keywords that are hovering in the second position, we get them to the first position as well. That's what we do. That gets you more clicks and more traffic to your website, and ultimately that's where you get these results from and get more sales. So I just wanted to show you that just to give you an understanding of what SEO can achieve for your brand, especially if you're in e-commerce. And now I wanted to break down what actually is it, how do you do it, and how do you get results like this. So SEO is ultimately broken down into 3 main categories, which is basically technical SEO, on-page SEO, and off-page SEO. And I wanted to give you a bit of an analogy here so you can understand what that all means. So technical SEO is the first thing that we'll do with a new brand. What we're doing here at the basic level is making sure your website is technically sound so that Google can understand it better, Google can crawl it better, users can then find it better, and that your website just works, as good as it can. It's fast, it's not loading, taking forever to load, things like that. And so I like to give the analogy of a book here, and I'm going to follow this analogy throughout this example, where technical SEO, beforehand, you might have a hardcover, you might have a binder, you might have a couple pages from a tree, whatever it may be. And technical SEO is making that into a physical book, so then we can actually build off that. So we can actually write content and put the content in that book, print it in there, and so forth. And so that's what technical SEO is all about. We need to make sure that your website is sound, have all these pieces that may be a little bit broken or may not necessarily work together yet, and we put them nice and clean together so that they can actually work. And the main thing here is so people can then actually read the book, the people here being your users and also Google, and then understand what the book is about. So that way they can find your website more, and then you can get results like all these ones we talked about before. So at the most basic level, that's what technical SEO is all about. It's making your website sound, making it clean, and making sure that Google and users can read it and understand it. Now that brings us on to the second kind of pillar of SEO, which is on-page SEO. So now that we have the book, we want to actually put content within that book. And there's different ways that we can do this. But if you think about an actual physical book, we have a title on the front page, at the start, whatever. You have chapters, you have the actual content, you have images, you might have a glossary, you have a blurb at the back, and also some references perhaps as to who built it, where you got your information from, depending on what type of book it is. So you have all these elements that you need to create so then people can understand the book, because if you don't have those things, you're just a blank book. There's nothing to you, and if you go to a library, if you go online to buy a book, there's just nothing there. No one understands what this book is about, right? And so this can all be translated again into your website, where the title is the H1 of your page. So the main keyword of your page goes in that title, and that gives Google and the user an understanding of what that specific page on your website is all about. Chapters is your H2s and your H3s. That's the different subsections of your website, so we can understand the content a bit better. So there's no point just having one H1 and kind of leaving it at that. You want to give some more context, so then each chapter of your book, each page on your website has a bit more depth to it so people can understand it. Content, again, is content, incorporating the keywords, writing the actual page content. We don't just want headings. We want to actually give users some information about the products that you sell, about the different things on your website, basically. Images, again, the same images, put some alt text on those. So that's where we can to kind of give written meaning to an image so Google can understand the page better and understand the image better. A glossary is also our internal links. A glossary in a book is where you kind of find meaning and find like a dictionary of the different things. That's what we use internal links for. We internally link to other pages on your website. So then if someone wants to find more information or find a different product based on the content they're already reading, we can internally link and send them to that page so then they can find it easier, which is really great for SEO. Finally, your blurb on the back of your thing is kind of your meta tags. That's what people read before they actually open the book and they get an understanding of what your book is about. So before you actually enter a website, you read the meta tags, which is the description and title that you see on Google. And so that's what there's a lot of importance there, because we need to make sure that we give the user an understanding of what your page or your website has on it. And then finally, references is basically our links. We want to make sure that we have good quality links so then we can kind of have some authority with the page, which is kind of what we'll talk about next. So now that we have your website, which is your written book, we've got all the content in there, we've got the book actually made, it's all technically sound and so forth. We now need to do some off-page SEO to actually make sure that this book is found by the right people. So content alone is going to help you a little bit, but you need to get some off-page SEO things to make sure that your book goes into a library and make sure that it goes into the right spot, basically. So again, your website, or for a book, you have a category, you have an author, you have reviews, and you have the placement on a shelf in a library, right? Or in a bookstore, say. And so again, this can be translated to the category is your niche. What type of niche is your brand in? And so we need to make sure that the readers understand that this is X type of book, X type of website. An author is kind of like your website's authority in a way. We want to make sure that your website has authority. It's not just a brand new website that has no authority behind it. And we do that with reviews, which is backlinks in essence. We want to get backlinks from other websites, make sure that they point to your website. That gives you some more authority, which then helps you kind of boost your rankings overall. And then finally, the placement on the shelf is kind of your indexing. We want to make sure that your pages and your website is actually indexed, which basically means Google knows it exists and it's going to show it within the Google search results. And so once we do all of these things, you think we started from here where we have a binder and a hard copy and a page, some pages or whatever. We got an empty book. Once we got the empty book, we want to put some content on there, make sure the content's structured really well. So then there's actually some backing behind the book. People understand it when they read it, what it's about. And then finally, we want to support that with all these off-page tactics by building links, having some authority, indexing and so forth, and putting it in the right direction. So now that we've got an understanding of what SEO is, how does that actually apply in the real world, right? So if I go to Google, this is our library, right? This has a bunch of books, which is your website, listed there. It has an understanding of what each book and website has. And so when I now type a keyword in, this is me going to a librarian and saying, hey, I'm looking for a book on X. And so if I'm going to search for, let's say, noise cancelling headphones. So I've made the search, we've got noise cancelling headphones, and now I'm in the library basically, and Google has given me all these results based on everything else that we talked about that match my keyword. So obviously we've got sponsored listings up here. We don't probably worry about that because we're looking at these organic listings. So we can see JB Hi-Fi is in the first position. And so now I'm on this page and we've got the different things that we were talking about. We've got the heading here, we've got some content on the page. We've obviously got more content here, which is the actual products that they sell. And then again, if we go down the bottom, we've got more headings down here. We've got some H2s, we've got some contact. We've got other things. We've got internal links here that send me to other pages if I'm looking for over-ear headphones instead, or in-ear headphones, and so forth. And so this matches everything that we're looking for based on the principles that we talked about earlier. So hopefully that made sense. This is a basic understanding of SEO at its core, what it involves and what kind of results you can get when you do it correctly. So if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them down there. And if you want to work with me and you want results like these for your brand, click the first link in the description. I work with e-commerce brands specifically on Shopify. And so hopefully we can get some amazing results like this for your brand as well. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.